Well, boys, today is tomorrow, and Qtcinderella, Vanillamace, and the whole Faze gang are back in the news. Because if you guys didn't see yesterday's video, essentially Qtcinderella, I'm gonna be honest here, she was doing too much yapping. Alright, she was doing too much yapping. I feel like the words she said weren't terrible, but the way she was saying it was like just absolutely abhorrent. So if you guys don't know, yesterday's video, Qtcinderella basically was going off about how she loves her racist family members and she cannot, disown them because, you can't fight hate with hate. Try telling that to the racist person. Okay, just like how I tell you all to like the video. Don't forget to comment as well and subscribe if you're new. We're on our way to 30K, but let's get back to the video. But you can't fight hate with hate, and the only way they'll learn is by you staying in their lives and dealing with them not being racist around you, but being racist around their other friends and other family members who will deal with them being racist. I don't know what her logic is, because like she's acting like this person just stopped magically being racist as soon as she walked in. It's like, no, I don't think you're helping. I don't think she's hurting either, but I don't think she's helping either. Just say, yo, you love your family members, some are racist. Damn. Not everyone can be a perfect person. There you go. Perfect statement. But for some reason, she tried to turn it into like everyone has to come to her side of the aisle. And even if they're racist towards you, you have to love them, or transphobic towards you, you have to love them. But it was mostly because her audience were taking things way out of context. Or let's just say that. Because if you guys don't know, she collaborated with Faze Clan, and Faze Clan made some off-color jokes about gay people. And now, if you guys don't know, Vanillamace has a very gay audience. I mean, like, super gay. I mean, like, damn. That flag is just white at this point gay. It's every color underneath the rainbow kind of gay, alright? So obviously after Qtcinderella went on her 18-minute rant about how she loves her transphobic, homophobic, racist, I'm surprised that she didn't go into any other phobia. Like, they just go straight down the list. Some are just straight up, they do not trust the Japanese. They just do not trust the Japanese at all. Like, I'm surprised she just didn't go down the whole line of what they were afraid of. But after she went on that 18-minute rant, Vanillamace came out and basically apologized for even being a part of that clip. She was like, I didn't even know you were going to be doing all that now. And basically threw Qtcinderella and the Faze Clan members that she was collaborating with underneath the bus.
Simply didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable. Obviously, as you could see in the clips. You know who I am, you know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter, and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok, and you don't know shit about me or fucking shit about shit, then of course I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna make the assumptions that you're going to make. But people who know me, and know my character, and know what the fuck I stand for, know how I'm gonna go about this. So, I am simply stepping back from everything, everyone, gonna touch a little grass. So
yeah, she threw everyone under the bus and saying that she's not going to be collaborating with any of these people anymore to appease her audience, or appease the little mob of people that were just running around trying to give any and everyone a label. Alright, everyone has to have a label nowadays, alright, especially whenever you make jokes. Instead of these people at least trying to understand who they're labeling by at least googling, alright, who is Faze Clan? What has Faze Clan done for the gay community? I'm like, shit, Google is literally right there, brother. I mean, like, if they want to be like, Faze Clan is racist, look up the roster of Faze Clan. If you don't want to be like, Faze Clan is homophobic, look up who sketches. That boy was about to end it all. And somehow, I want to be honest here, Faze Banks clutched it up. The game-winning point, I like the rest of Faze Clan as well, and saved his life. But for some reason, they're gay and homophobic for, making a couple jokes. Just 2 or 3 jokes, too many. So obviously, Stable Ronaldo had to respond to this shit, alright? Because he was one of the prime suspects in this Vanillamace controversy.
Calling us transphobes, racist, whatever it is. I don't even know what the words they're saying. Now it's, oh yeah, I'm uncomfortable with her statements. You are not uncomfortable with your statements. You're literally just anything your community says, you realize you're like, what? You have a filter, it seems like Like, what are you doing?
You're going to make.
She literally was so nice to us. I'm so confused. And now she's saying she's agreeing with people and that she's uncomfortable with what Cutie's saying. What is...
But people who know...
It seems to be whatever your community says, you get worried about. You get worried about what your community says because that's how you make your money. And you have to do it exactly what they say. You don't. This isn't real fans, by the way. Fans aren't just fans for holding you accountable. Fans are people that support you and understand your point of view or your statements. Anything that your community says, it seems like you just agree with.
So yeah, Stay Ronaldo has been in the game for a while. All right, he had his ebbs and flows, and I'm pretty sure he even went through this phase where he had his audience basically dictate any and every aspect of his life. Now, I will say, if you want to grow a certain audience, obviously you're going to have to exclude other audiences, especially if they're not into certain things. I mean, like, chat. We can all say, like, oh, you should have a very inviting environment, but also, not everyone's welcome, right? You're not everyone's cup of tea. You could be the best cup of tea in the world. You're not everyone's cup of tea. You're going to have to realize at some point, you're going to have to start excluding some people. Not everyone can be in the community, right? You can't just have a community full of people that only like whenever you do X thing, but you're like, I don't like doing X thing. So after a while, you're gonna have to realize, all right, those people just aren't part of my community. I'm just not gonna do X thing. But you do like doing Y thing, so you're gonna do more Y things. So yes, you're going to be slightly controlled by your audience, all right? Because if you stop doing anything your audience likes at all, they're not gonna watch you in general. Like, I hate whenever people try to act like these audience streamer dynamics aren't the way they are, because you know, both of them are parasitic to each other, right? The streamer is gonna act all tough. Oh, I don't need to bow down to my audience X, Y, and Z. But if tomorrow you did some heinous thing and your audience diminished, you're gonna be up there saying sorry, right? You're not gonna be sitting there. No, well, guess what? I went from 30,000 viewers to 100 viewers, and I don't care. You're gonna be like, I'm sorry. Please come back. Right, we're not gonna be sitting here acting all tough and all Billy badass whenever we know there's nuance to this situation. Now, obviously, Vanillamace has cultivated a very gay audience, so obviously, if she wants to continue with that gay audience, if that's an audience she actually loves, then yeah, she's gonna have to start cutting some people off that she finds problematic to her audience. Now, do I think she did this in the right way? No, you should vet the people before you even collaborate with them. What's the point of doing these collaborations and all this other bullshit and being all smiley, right? And then you get a little hate thread and then you're just like, wow, I guess it's time to apologize. Like, did she not understand what or who Faze Clan is? Like, could she not introduce her audience to them? Like, no, you guys don't get it. It was just a joke. They don't actually mean it. Obviously, you know, Faze Clan has, I don't know if Sketch is part of Faze Clan, but like Faze Clan has actually helped out gay people in the community. Faze Clan isn't racist. They literally have 2 black people on their roster. Literally, one of them is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. Like, I feel like you guys are like misunderstanding these people. But instead of that, she's like, throw them under the bus, throw them under the bus. See, that's the problem here, chat. I feel like a lot of people are ready to write off like, oh, the woke community or oh, the right-wing community, whenever in reality is, I feel like these people just speak. Use your words. Just be like, no, you don't understand. It's like this. And obviously, some people will be like, no, I did understand it the first time. And obviously, those people they were never your fans in the first place, right? They were just there for the good times, not the bad times. They're fair weather fans, unlike the fishbowl. All right, boys, you guys are here all the time. Say the fishbowl, hey, did you comment? Hey, did you comment? Did you like? But yeah, I just feel like if she actually explained what Faze Clan has done for the communities that her community believes they are, you know, harming, I feel like some of them would obviously accept it. And obviously, some of them will not. Because, yes, on both sides, people are unreasonable. We're not going to act like, oh, yes, it's just the gay community that's unreasonable. Like, no, there are unreasonable people on the other side. I'm like, hell, we're about to get into Qtcinderella whenever she was defending her racist / transphobic father. That's kind of unreasonable. That's kind of unreasonable that you can't change your thought patterns on people's immutable characteristics because you feel like it might hurt your own feelings. Literally, which is what anyone in Vanillamace's community that wouldn't accept the fact that these people aren't actually racist or homophobic. Literally, they are 2 sides of the same exact coin. One just hates other people for a different reason. Now, again, I will say that anyone calling this out is being unreasonable, right? Like, literally, Ding So Cool has a whole story about how he basically had a date that was going perfectly, but then she saw he had a Chick-fil-A bag on the countertop.
I went on a date with an individual in Seattle. And, you know what I'm saying? Great date. I thought I was gonna close the deal. And she seen the bag of Chick-fil-A on my counter. And she said, "Oh, you eat Chick-fil-A?" And nothing happened. I feel like this is the same. Because unlike, listen, I'm a regular person. I ate it because the chicken was good. I didn't know there was some back end shit to it. God honest truth. I feel like that's what happened. She's one of those. All right. Context, listen, if you just got, it's one of those you just got to know, bro. I'm not going to go into context about it because it dives into political side and I'm not into all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into all that. Seems like you're dying. True. I hit the follow button. But yeah, listen, Vanillamace, you're probably a nice individual, to be honest with you. All right. I think it was just very stupid for you to use that as an excuse to farm LSF. Because listen, I'm telling you right now, you might be on the top of LSF right now for something. I don't know where it lies, to be honest with you, but LSF will switch up. LSF has no loyalties. I hope you know. All right.
Now, obviously, I wasn't there with Dean So Cool. I wasn't on a date, all right? I wasn't the lucky gal. But obviously, this woman did not like that he was eating Chick-fil-A. She made an assumption that he did not have the same values as her. Now, what she should have did was at least ask. At least ask. I mean, like, shit, brother. Nothing's wrong with asking people their values, especially if you're, planning on having a future with them. I'm like, you don't want to, miss out on a lovely relationship just because of a misunderstanding. And if, your understandings was correct, there you go. You have a reason to walk away. But you walking away without even knowing why did he have a Chick-fil-A back? Maybe he just likes chicken. Well, brother can't eat some good chicken? I ain't gonna lie. That's some damn good chicken. Them chicken sandwiches at Chick-fil-A, chat. I ain't gonna lie. Them things are bomb. But that doesn't mean he hates gay people just because he eats at Chick-fil-A. There's probably a shit ton of people that eat at Chick-fil-A and don't know that Chick-fil-A do use their money for anti-gay purposes. Not everyone knows that. I mean, like, just not everyone knows that in general, chat. You actually have to look into the lore of Chick-fil-A. Some people go to work, right? They go to work where they type on the computer all day, right? They be like, yep, can't wait to get home. On the way home, they get themselves some Chick-fil-A, right? They get themselves some Chick-fil-A. And then they go and watch, like, Avatar, fucking Breaking Bad, I don't know, Alien Earth, right? They go home and they just watch TV. And guess what they do after that? Go to sleep, wake up, and repeat that cycle. And they have no idea what the fuck is going on with Chick-fil-A. And they could support gay causes. Maybe they would stop eating Chick-fil-A if you told them about it. But you just doing the whole, well, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong with it. I'm just going to let you sit there and look off in a haze of confusion. Doesn't help anyone. It just doesn't help anyone. Just like Qtcinderella's statement that she made the other day that basically got the whole entire internet on her ass. Obviously, on that stream clip where Qtcinderella was going off talking about how she loves her racist family members and transphobic trans members and how you can't fight hate with hate. I want to be honest, it was a powerful statement whenever none of their actions affect you at all in any negative way. It is a very powerful statement whenever none of their actions affect you. I feel like the internet has just become a diary at this point. For some reason, people just can't keep some things in. I'm like, yeah, if you do it in the privacy of your own home, that has nothing to do with me, nor do I want to find out about it. But if you tell me that, it's like, oh yeah, I'm cool with racist people. It's one thing to be like, yeah, I have racist family members. It's another thing to be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with them though. Like, we be dapping it up all the time. Like, hey, we gotta go grab a coffee. Like, yeah, they're gonna look at you different. It's like someone saying, yeah, I like getting my asshole popped every once in a while. It's like, excuse me? Like, it's just like a shock factor where it's just like, yeah, I would assume maybe, like, but I don't know, and I'd rather not know. But now that you dropped the veil, like, yeah, I'm gonna look at you differently. I'm just letting you guys know, yes, if you want to love your family members, no matter their flaws, right? If you have a family member that's into touching children, I guess, if you want to do the whole thing of, well, I can never hate my family member, blood is thicker than water, I guess, yes, you can do that, but you also have to realize there are people that are going to be like, okay, that's gross. That's disgusting. Yeah, I'd cut them off. Like, yeah, not everyone is the same person. For some reason, people want to do the purity test stuff. You should never cut off your family member. It's like, never? Ever? Really? So you're telling me you find out one day that your dad raped your little sister, you shouldn't cut him off. You should always, like, brother, come on. There are reasons for people to cut people off, and they can be petty. You know what? No one has to be perfect. Just like how her dad and these people's opinions gets to be racist and transphobic all they want. Guess what? You can be as petty as you want to be as well. If you want to be like, I want to cut my dad off because he stole a piece of cake whenever I was 5, fuck it. Who cares? It's your life. For some reason, people want to do these purity tests of, obviously, I would never judge someone for being in the life of someone that's a piece of shit willingly. Right? It's like, okay, yeah, that's you. You don't care. That doesn't mean other people don't care and other people don't have different feelings for you and live, other lives. I'm sorry, people, but, this whole internet thing is fake. Just let you know, chat, we're not this homogenous citizenship, all right? We all have different lived experiences. Some people are going to be a little bit more sensitive than other people, and you can say, oh, well, why are you being so sensitive? Whenever they bring up something you're sensitive about, and they start saying, oh, why are you being so sensitive? Don't start crying. Like Qtcinderella in her apology. I feel like Qtcinderella in her apology, again, all she had to do was just explain the situation better, because, like, I feel like maybe if she actually explained that, oh no, the reason why I'm still talking to my stepdad, and obviously, I am, keeping this relationship with him is because, I love him as a person because he's good to me. I'm like, yes, that's selfish, but at least it makes sense. Not you trying to change him. He's not changing. That's the thing. He's not changing. There is a difference between him making real efforts to change and him just hiding his transphobia towards his own son now while you're around. There are two differences here. If she wanted to say, yes, I'm selfish and I want to keep this relationship with my stepdad, say that. Cool. Completely different topic. But whenever you're trying to make this purity test of we should not fight hate with hate, all right, tell your stepdad to stop hating on your stepbrother. Cool. Tell him that. Why don't you give him that lecture? How come everyone else has to change? How come the one problem doesn't have to change? But yeah, she basically apologizes for her hot take, all right, for the heat of it, or it was turned up a little too high. It burnt the take, actually.
I'm really sorry. Like, again, if you don't want the, I've heard what a lot of people are saying, and I am sorry for the hurt that I've caused people. I'm really sorry. Like, again, if you don't want this apology, then it's not for you. And clearly you're not hurt, but I'm apologizing to people that I've hurt, and that's important to me. So if you're a part of the queer community and I've hurt you, I am sorry. If you are a person of color who I've hurt, I am sorry. I am. I really am. I think the way I was wording things was very, like, irresponsible and wrong. And I'm sorry. Ugh. this is not about me. It's annoying that I'm chill. I'm fine. I don't articulate myself well, which means I can't really be upset if what I'm trying to convey is misunderstood. Because like, don't get me wrong, at first I was like, how could that be taken this way? And then I listened and I learned and I said, oh my God. Because it wasn't my intention, but I did articulate things very irresponsibly, and that sucks. I did a really poor job at articulating myself. Even some of the clips I've seen, I feel so irresponsible for my own wording. I really do. And I'm sorry for that. I watched it back. I understand why it was hurtful. I've read the comments, believe it or not.
Now, of course, yes, the rest of it is just her crying and apologizing. I'm assuming the reason why she's apologizing, because I'm trying to decode this, because what she said came through clear. All right, there was no static at all. The reason why I feel like she's crying is because she actually does feel bad for what she says, and she does realize that she was basically talking down to people that don't want to be friends with people that hate them for their immutable characteristics. Now, obviously, it's pretty easy to tell that not everyone saw the full 18-minute video like we did. All right, top right-hand corner, boys. Yo, the video's right there where we went over her full statement in yesterday's video, but I will say, if they didn't, then obviously, they only have a limited view, a limited window on this situation. It's harder for them to come to a real conclusion whenever they only have a piece of it. And I'm assuming Fan trying to stick up for Qtcinderella didn't get the full clip. And the reason why some people are, up in arms about this. Because Fan quote tweeted a video of Qtcinderella basically talking about how sometimes Faze Lacey and other Faze members make gay jokes and she'll just tell them to stop.
It's not comfortable.
This is my perfect example. It's like, okay, I collab with Lacey. Lacey makes some homophobic jokes sometimes that I am not comfortable with the homophobic jokes Lacey has made. Lacey knows that he can't make those jokes around me. That does not mean that I am homophobic, believe it or not, everybody.
Yes.
Like, you are not who you associate with. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, you don't build bridges by burning them. That's not how it works. Like,
so she only has a limited knowledge of this situation, because I want to be honest here, the situation is longer than this clip. It is longer than this clip. But Fan tweeted out this. Is it really a bad thing for someone like Cutie to give people a chance to learn and improve? She actively condemns things people say, even when it's a joke, made in bad taste, and from an outsider's POV, it's evident she taught people a lot about how their words hold weight and can be much more negatively perceived than they'd realize. There's so much more to her intentions than the phrase "you are not who you associate with" implies, and in my opinion, criticizing her for this heavily nuanced sentence that was just boiled down to one simple sentence discounts everything she's been working for, which has no doubt always been inclusivity and cohabitation. Now, obviously, Fan is right in the sense of, yes, Qtcinderella is not this person that, people are trying to make her out to be like this homophobe or racist or whatever, right? She's not. She does want people to change. And again, there is a difference, I gotta keep saying this, between someone like Faze Lacey making a joke and then Qtcinderella saying, hey, stop that, don't say that around me, that gay people don't like that, and him saying, oh, sorry, I got you, okay, copy that, I won't make that joke around you. And then someone like Qtcinderella's father, who actively is hostile towards their trans son. So there are two differences here. Faze Lacey wants to make a change. He wants to make a difference. He will listen if she tells him. Her stepfather won't, right? These are two different things. Now, obviously, in this situation, Fan is correct. She is trying to change people in their bad behaviors and trying to make everything great. I'm not getting on Fan's ass about that. But if we're talking about the full context here, she's like half right. Like, yes, she is trying to make differences, but also you have to realize sometimes she is being selfish, and instead of her just saying, yes, I like hanging out with this person, she's trying to go on this moral high ground of, I'm trying to change them, quote unquote. It's like, just say you're friends with them. Just say, hey man, yeah, I just chill with them. Don't be out here talking about no, I'm trying to change. I'm Solid Snake. I'm in the mainframe. I'm in the back walls. Like, you're not changing anyone if they don't want to change. It's one thing whenever they're making real tangible differences and, they're actually making changes. And it's a different thing whenever they're actively hostile towards the people you tell them not to be. But again, Qtcinderella is in a lose-lose situation. She apologizes. Obviously, the people that are on the right side of most politics are going to say she's this spineless bitch loser. She can't stick to any of her morals at all. And she was never going to gain that audience, by the way. Just letting you know, the same people that are going to say like, oh well, Qtcinderella has to do this whole apology tour, those people were never your fans. I'm like, the people tell you that also were never your fans. So obviously she's doing what she feels is right in her heart. Obviously, if she has nothing to gain from this. She legit has nothing to gain, only things to lose at this point. So obviously she just made the apology. She feels like she has messed up, and you know what? If she feels like she actually has genuinely messed up and she does have to apologize, because she did say that this apology isn't for the people that don't feel like they deserve an apology, it's for the people that do. Okay then, cool. Who cares, right? Who cares? I've been seeing this narrative recently pop up from people like XQC to even Asmongold, talking about how all this is performative, right? People need to stop acting like their audience controls them and they're so audience captured they cannot have a free thought whenever it's just they have a different idea than you. It's like, brother, we're in 2025 of content creation. We have literally seen people go out there and commit some horrible crimes and continue on with their content creation careers. I'm pretty sure we have gotten to the point where everyone has realized, yes, you can continue on with your content creation career even after you get canceled. I'm like, if Miskif goes live right now, he probably would have 50,000 viewers playing Mario 64. We're not going to sit here and act like, oh, if you get canceled, it's the last thing ever. We've been over that. All right, we've been over that. Some people genuinely do feel like they should apologize. Do I feel like every apology is necessary? No. But some people genuinely do feel like they need to apologize. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm sorry. For some reason, the internet and content creators in general have a problem with saying, I'm sorry, I messed up. For some reason, that's now toxic to content creators. Being held accountable is toxic. Now, obviously, it's to different standards. Some people's standards of being held accountable is different than other people's standards of being held accountable. Some people don't care about saying slurs. Some people do. Right? It is two different ideologies, right? People are different. It's not black and white, as Qtcinderella said. It's a shade of gray. But these people that will always talk about how it's a shade of gray always want to talk about, her taking accountability and her feeling like her gray is maybe towards the darker side and she needs to take accountability. Well, you can't do that, because that means our shade of gray is just straight up black, right? There's some people that just don't want to take responsibilities for their actions, and I guess for some reason in the landscape of content creation, we have like a judicial system. If one person's apologized, everyone has apologized, whenever that's not how this whole entire thing works at all, right? These same people that will talk about this mob that's been sent after Qtcinderella will not, realize that they are forming their own mob going after Qtcinderella. I mean, like, you guys are hitting her from both sides. Instead of y'all being like, you know what? She apologized. If she feels like she messed up, all right. You know what? Whatever. Don't care. Instead of that, these people are now going after Qtcinderella, calling her spineless, saying that she's a piece of shit, saying that you didn't say anything wrong in the first place. Instead of just allowing her to feel how she feels, now these people have to change how she feels. For some reason, these people are fine with her being friends with these people that are just racist up in general, family members, whatever. They're fine with those people never changing, and it's a great thing. But as soon as she's like, you know what, I want to make a change for myself, you can't do that. That's wrong. You can't do that. Because let's all be honest here, if we're gonna play this whole entire game, we already know that Qtcinderella isn't actually okay with racist people, right? They're just trying to normalize people being friends with them, because let's all be honest here, she would never do a stream with someone like Nick Fuentes. Like, she would straight up never be caught dead near Nick Fuentes. Let's just call a spade a spade. She's not okay with racist people. She hates them probably a lot, but in her heart of heart, her family members, you know, she has had good times with them, and she's trying her best to rekindle some kind of relationship before she, you know, knew they were racist. And now it's kind of awkward whenever you talk to them, and anytime a minority comes up, oh my god, those damn Mexicans, them illegals. Because you guys always have to realize there's always some angle to someone trying to act like they're high roading. All right, there's always an angle, there's always some loop around, there's always something that they will always go back on. No one's perfect, no one's this high road. They all will cancel you no matter what. It doesn't matter if she says today that, oh, you know, there's nothing wrong with being friends with racists. But if she said she was friends with someone that made fun of Charlie Kirk, these people would be up in arms. Let's not even fucking act like they wouldn't. Asmongold would be calling her a disgusting bitch the next day. We're not going to be sitting there acting like these people are, you know, on this high road where they're like, yes, we should be friends with anyone that we dislike. If she made any kind of joke about Charlie Kirk at all, they would be vehemently against them. Anyone that collaborates with them, they would cut them off instantly if she collaborated with them as well. And you know I'm right, because whenever people were making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, guess who was the guy trying to get people fired? Asmongold. What happened to just jokes, right? The jokes were hurting all their feelings, right? There's people that had their feelings hurt by these Charlie Kirk jokes, but for some reason they can't figure out, wait, if they make those jokes about someone that I don't even know, they're not even in their life, how does it feel whenever I make jokes about people that they like, that they don't even know, that's not even in their lives? For some reason, they can't connect the dots, right? These people will always stay disconnected, especially someone like Asmongold, because they're audience captured. They know they're audience captured, all right? We're not even going to act like people like Asmongold aren't audience captured, just like how Qtcinderella and Vanillamace are also audience captured. It is a whole performance, all right? It's going to be a tit for tat. Asmongold is going to do something. Qtcinderella is going to get on his ass. You know, Hassan's going to get on his ass. H3 is going to get on his ass. Then Ludwig's going to do something, and then Asmon's going to get on his ass. SQC is going to get on his ass. Tectone's going to get on his ass. You know, Sensitive Society, more Pegasus, right? It is a tit for tat. Neither one of them are perfect, all right? They know their limits of their audience, and you know you cannot overstretch your audience. No one can have a full circle audience. I'm sorry, it's true. Some people will have to leave the audience. They will have to leave the fold. Some people will have to leave for you to become a bigger streamer or content creator in general. And these people know this. They will do the whole purity test of, look, I'm pure. I'm a pure streamer. No one controls me at all. Whenever it comes down to these set of rules that my audience is in love with. But whenever it's anything outside of these set of rules, I then have, I don't know what you're talking about. Pure? No, we're out for revenge. No, XYZ. Didn't you do this? What? Why would I want to be the bigger person in this situation? I'm gonna go dirty, right? We're not gonna sit here and act like these people aren't that, because they are. As soon as it favors them, they're gonna go dirty. And as soon as it doesn't, they're gonna hit the moral high ground. And you know what? You can blame them because they don't need money, unlike iDubbbz. That boy is broke. He can't even afford socks, chat. Click this video right here to find out how broke his iDubbbz. But other than that, don't like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.